And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roar. Luke 21:25.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Real World Prepper. Just like the intro said, there will be signs. And I believe we're looking at the signs today that would indicate that we are in the end times. I want to go over a little bit of stuff that I've been gathering and working on that I want to share with you. Our generation, our current generation, is bearing witness to the fulfillment of Bible prophecy on a worldwide scale. We're moving closer to the end of days. We're able to witness the truth of Bible prophecy play out in current world events. I'm sure any of you guys can look and see and recognize this to be true. This modern world, this modern society that we live in, it's already been written about and foretold in the Bible. Prophesied. iPhones, smartphones, the internet, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, tsunamis, pestilence, riots, revolution, civil wars, terrorism, economic collapse, meteors, blood moons, eclipses, climate change, inequality, greed, cannibalism, vampirism, DNA editing, transhumanism, and the sexualization of society, and much, much more. Jesus actually warned us about these times. Matthew 24:37 says, quote, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be," end quote. Today our world reflects all of the ancient false religions and evil practices from thousands of years ago. Today they're being normalized. Practices that have been done in secret for thousands of years and in the dark are now out in the open. They're normalized. They're accepted. There's even, in many places, including in our great country here, legalization of some of this stuff. While at the same time, God is being pushed out and trivialized and vandalized and demonized. You know, Christians are being made a mockery of, you know. Look around at all the black magic and satanic symbolism that is overtly present in all things, media and otherwise. New Age religion is spreading, but the New Age is not a new thing. It is a rebranding of the ancient evils and the ancient practices that are of Satan and his demons from thousands of years ago. It's just now being normalized and embraced by the population at large in this modern world. A lot of false prophets over time told lots of prophecies that didn't end up being true. You know, you've got the Mayans and Nostradamus and the Chinese, a lot of prophecies there, ancient Indians. A lot of it has become famous folklore, but there is only one book or source, and it is a book, that has been 100% accurate when it comes to prophecy, and that is the Holy Bible. It has never made a mistake in regards to prophecy. It tells of our human existence from the very beginning to the very end. Period. The story is written, guys. Excuse me. It's already written from beginning to end. I believe that the beginning of the end of days was first foretold in Jesus' parable about the fig tree. Matthew 24:32 through 34. Quote, "Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." End quote. What Jesus means is that the generation that sees the fig tree blossom will also be the generation that will see his return. And of course, along with that, the end times. Many Bible scholars will agree, and you can look this up, guys, if you want to. I don't have sources on this. Feel free to look it up yourself. But there are many who study the Bible and who are Christians and even non-Christians who will agree that what the Bible talks about when Jesus uses that fig tree parable, that most likely the fig tree he was speaking of was the nation of Israel. And the blossoming of the fig tree was the reforming of the nation, which happened in 1948. Now, in that parable, he says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." Well, in Psalm 90:10, it tells us how long a generation is. And I quote, "The days of our years are 60 years and 10, and if by reason of strength they be 80 years." Now that is 70 to 80 years. This year, 2019, is the 71st year since the reformation of the nation of Israel in 1948. 71 years of a 70 to 80 year generational term as described in the Bible. So if this is what Jesus meant, we are the generation that will see the end times. And if the generational timeline is accurate, sometime within the next 9 years, or less, God is being removed, and pagan and satanic images and practices are being embraced by this lost world. "Do what thou wilt" is the new mantra of the lost people, and is being embraced worldwide. That's the new age. Look around at media, news, sports, music, people's personal life choices, the things that people fight about and fight vigorously and violently and vehemently about their rights to be able to do what they want to do, to be able to kill babies, to be able to practice cannibalism, to be able to, all of this horrible, evil stuff, sexualization, pedophilia, bloodletting, and there's all kinds of stuff. Everywhere you look, we see seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, all throughout the world. Daniel 12:4 says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." Now this is speaking of that time, the end time, when all things are going to come to pass. 2019 is predicted to have record numbers of automobiles on the roads, record numbers of air travelers, air passengers running all over the world. These are the people running to and fro that it speaks of in that Daniel verse. And the Internet of Things has vastly and exponentially increased our knowledge. So shall our knowledge be increased, as it says in Daniel 12:4. The Bible even says that the two witnesses, their death and their resurrection, will be seen by people all over the world. How? Today's modern technology. Cell phones, smartphones, the internet. We are here now, guys. Excuse me. So I just want to tell you, now is the time to pray and prepare. Now is the time to pray and prepare. I do believe the time is short. I believe this is where we stand. I believe you've got proofs in the Bible and in the verses that I mentioned, and there are many more. This is just a small snapshot of many ways that this can be proven and shown. And certainly if you have the discernment of God, you know it. You feel it in your bones. We should not be fearful, guys. We should be vigilant. We should be in prayer. And we should definitely be preparing. And that's all I've got on this edition of The Real World Prepper. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.